Hello, people from Gunner Station. I don't know if you guys can hear what I'm saying now, but yes, I don't know. I don't know if you guys can hear what I'm saying. Um, Please, guys, if you see this video, like the video, and I wanted to talk about Lucas Torreira in this live video. It's the first time I do a live stream, so yes. So I don't know if I'm gonna keep doing live streams, and yes. So let's keep going. Lucas Torreira, as we know, he's not satisfied with the club, and two people already looking at the live stream, and I'm gonna try to do this. First time, kind of nervous about that, but I don't know what you guys think about Lucas Torreira, but for me, I think if a player is not satisfied with the club, he should not stay. I think he should go. Of course, he's linked with a lot of players from the Serie A, for example, even from the La Liga. But I think he should go back to Serie A. As we know, some of you guys know, his dream basically is to play for Boca Juniors, which is a club for Argentina. Everybody know that club, a famous club. And Napoli has like this similar environment to Boca Juniors, as we know. They have the ultras, of course, and but they're going through a bad moment now. And don't forget that last season we beat Napoli in the Europa League with a goal that Lucas Torreira scored. And of course, he played really well in that game. And that game is, I think, is the last game that I think Lucas Torreira played well for our team, because I think he hasn't played well for the last, I don't know, for the last, honestly, for the last six months. I mean, or maybe 11 months, because I think last time he played well was actually in December. December. Before that, when we were playing against teams like Tottenham, Huddersfield, and when he scored that bicycle kick, of course, when he scored against Tottenham, and then honestly, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened, but 3 good months and then 11 bad months. It's not good enough for me. He's still like the I don't think I don't rate him as much as people do. I think that honestly, we're gonna sell him for more than we bought him for. We bought him for 27 to around 33 million from Sampdoria, and I think that we would sell him for like 50 million, and I think that would be a good price, honestly, for me, because Zakaria, for example, for Borussia Mönchengladbach, who Nico Rodriguez, I think he's a good player. Lucas Torreira. Yeah, mate. I think he's a good player, but honestly, I think that we could still get better players. I think that I don't know if you're talking about Zakaria or Lucas Torreira. Honestly, if you want to say in the comments, yeah. But I think Zakaria, 6'3", CDM. He can also play as a center back. And don't forget the Borussia Mönchengladbach. They're first in the Bundesliga. They have a game next week. I mean, this week, and they have the best defensive record in the league. I think that honestly, I wouldn't take their coach, which is Marco Rose. But honestly, I would really consider some players for that team, and I'm not just saying that because they're first in Bundesliga. I'm saying that because I actually think they're good. I think that Zakaria is a really good player. I think Elvedi is a really good player. I think there's players from some other teams. I think Bundesliga is a league with really interesting players. I think that, of course, Zakaria, Elvedi, other teams like Leipzig, they got Orban, they got Upamecano, of course, a player we're linked to, and of course more players, even goalkeepers who are experienced, because some people actually think that Leno's not good enough. This is not my case. I think Leno's a really good goalkeeper, but I don't think he's doing great this season. But even though he's not doing great, for me, in my opinion, Leno's being one of our best players. I think our best player this season is Guendouzi. I think our second best player would maybe be. It's hard to choose, honestly, guys, because we're not doing well at all. And at all, and I think that our second best player is being Leno, and the third is being Aubameyang. But I don't even think Aubameyang is doing great. I don't think Leno's doing great, and I think that Guendouzi is doing good. I think that Guendouzi is honestly doing good, although he stopped playing like as he kind of dropped the level, but it's not his fault. Well, he cannot carry the team by himself. Our midfield is not a good position, of course, as we know. I think we need that more physical player, and that's why I think Zachariah comes in. That's where I think he comes in, because he's a really tall player. He's a really strong, really young. Actually, I think he's gonna have like 10 years and playing a high level. So at least, so well, I don't know. I think Emery is the problem. Well, I think too, mate. I think I am Emery out, of course, and I am Emery out since I am Emery out for a long time, actually. I think, yeah, I'm Emery out since before of a lot of people, because of last season, because we bottled of course the Champions League against Crystal Palace, of course against Brighton, against of course those teams, Leicester, where we got beaten 3-0, 3-0, Wolves 3-1. Of course, I don't even want to talk about that. Then we went to the final against Chelsea, a team that was about Chelsea. In that week, Chelsea was doing terrible, like with fights inside the club. Higuain and I think I forgot who it was. I think it was Higuain and David Luiz, if I'm not mistaken. They were into some reports were saying that moment that they got into a fight in training or something like that. And of course, the Sarri situation. Sarri was mad at his players. And then, of course, the Kepa situation against Manchester City, but that was in February. We played Chelsea in June, but of course, Chelsea was going through a lot of problems, and we beat Burnley that game. Of course, we weren't 100% well, but we beat Burnley 3-0. Was it 3-0 actually, or 3-1? I think it was 3-1 when Aubameyang scored two, and then Nketiah scored one. And I thought honestly we were going to win that game, because I think we were not in a better moment actually, but Chelsea was going through a lot of problems. I think they were going through more problems than us, although we were still going through problems. And let me read that. Matteo is a DM, doesn't work. He needs to play a little forward. Yeah, he plays a little forward. He plays as a center mid. The one who plays DM in our team is actually Granit Xhaka, because Torreira, of course, when he plays as a cam or he plays as a center forward. I honestly don't know where he plays. And of course, Aubameyang plays on the wing. And when we play Lacazette, he also goes to the wing. So honestly, nobody can explain what Emery wants. What Emery really. I don't know. I cannot explain. I think that Emery needs to get sacked, honestly. And I've been an Emery out for a long time. I think that the right guy would have been Mourinho, but now, of course, he's at Tottenham. So honestly, I would take Poch. I would take Pochettino all the way, because I think honestly Allegri for me is a really overrated coach. I think that he's decent. He would fix the defense. Of course, Italians coaches, Italians managers, they're always like their special, let's say, spirit is the defensive football. And I think that Allegri, he would fix the defense, but I don't think he's good enough. For example, when Juventus play, he's kind of scared as well. When Juventus play Ajax in the Champions League last season, Juventus was supposed to win that game. The game was 1-1, and Juventus was going to win that game. Not win, it was tied, of course, but Juventus was going to the semifinal, play against Tottenham. But then he put the Chiglio, which is a defensive right back, instead of João Cancelo, who is now at City, who is a really good right back. In my opinion, he's a lot better than Bellerin. But don't get me wrong, Bellerin is one of my favorite players at Arsenal. But I'm just saying what I think about it. But he put the Chiglio over Cancelo, and then Cancelo really doesn't do well in that game, because the Chiglio doesn't do well in that game because, of course, the Chiglio is not that good. I don't know if you guys remember the Chiglio at Milan. He was a young prospect, but it didn't turn out to be right. He didn't become a good player. I mean, he's all right, but I even think Bellerin is a lot better than the Chiglio. But then, of course, Juve lost that game, and yeah, but Emery's playing. Let me see. But Emery's playing Matteo as a defensive midfielder because he doesn't rate Torreira as a DM. Yeah, right now, yeah, because Jack is not playing. So I think that Guendouzi has to basically sacrifice himself. So for me, yeah, it's really hard. I know, but I honestly don't know. I don't know what Emery wants. I really don't know. Um, yeah, this is. It's hard to know what he knows. Today he had a press conference, but of course he's never direct. Mourinho had a press conference too, and he was asked about if Tottenham was basically hurt after the Champions League final, which is why maybe they're not doing good. They're not doing well so far this season. And Mourinho said, "I don't know. I never lost a Champions League final." He's clear and direct, and this is something Emery's not at all. I think that everybody knows that, and I think. And Emery was asked about Granit Xhaka. He was saying that Granit Xhaka was ready. He was going to come back, and he was going to see with the club if they were going to play. Of course, see with the club. This is not what a manager does. Like, a manager takes his own decisions. Like, if Mourinho was here, and if he was asked that question, what do you think he would do? Honestly, I don't even think he would put him. I think he would put, of course, Torreira as a DM, and then Guendouzi and Arkem. I think he would put Ozil or Ceballos. I think that Ceballos, as I say in my videos, Ceballos is not a cam. He's like in that Guendouzi position, and Ozil is the only cam we got actually. But Ceballos can do that. Ceballos can play as a cam as well. What do you think about the Ozil situation? Well, mate, I am an Ozil fan, but I am always going to be real. I'm a Bellerin fan too, but honestly, I don't think Bellerin is. I think he's not even top 5 best right backs in the Premier League. I think Ricardo Pereira from Leicester is better, but Kyle Walker, João Cancelo, Trent Alexander-Arnold, of course, and I can't remember of other players, but obviously these players are better than Bellerin. And by the way, Nico Rodriguez, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe and like this live stream. And yeah, what do you think about Ozil's situation? Well, Ozil's a player I really like, but honestly, he's another guy where when he plays, he doesn't play his position. Remember the game against, who was it against? It was against Wolves. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was against Wolves. I don't think it was against Crystal Palace. It was against Wolves. Yeah, when we tied, and we drew 1-1 with Wolves at home. And of course, Ozil was playing as a DM, and Guendouzi was playing close to Ozil, and Torreira was playing as a center forward. I couldn't understand what was going on. Like, everybody could not understand what was going on. I watched Arsenal Fan TV after that, and everybody was questioning the same thing. Why was Ozil playing as a DM? Because honestly, like, it's not gonna work out, and like, it's impossible. It's not gonna work out. It's like putting a striker playing as a as a DM. It's not gonna work out. And yes, of course, Unai Emery had more questions. I can't remember what more questions he had. I can actually open the website and check it out. But well, guys, I don't know. Well, this is my first live stream I'm doing, so I'm sorry it's not, of course, not good. 2 people watching it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching it, because it's a beginning of a channel. You know, I'm trying to, well, at least be heard in the future for more people. I also do videos in Portuguese, so more people from other countries like Brazil, which is a country I'm from, watch me. So thank you so much for the people who are subscribed right now, because it's really important for me. I really want to, like, make a good content for people who are watching me. So yes, that's what I'm trying to do, and I hope I keep doing it, because I'm trying to do it every day. So well, I can talk about more things. I can talk about more players I would like to have. Of course, I can talk about the Aubameyang situation. Of course, um, Aubameyang looked like he's not going to get a new deal with Arsenal. So honestly, I would sell him, because I don't want him to be another Alexis Sanchez, another Aaron Ramsey. I would like him to stay, but if he's not going to renew, then sell him, because he's already 30. And honestly, I think if he loses pace, he's not going to be as good as he is right now. Let's be honest. And I think Lacazette, Aubameyang contract goes into 2021, while Lacazette goes into 2022. So I think we can think about the Lacazette situation next season. But Aubameyang, we have to see it this season. If we don't get to anything until January, until the end of January, I think we should sell him in the summer. And yeah, I honestly don't know what Raul Sanllehi is doing, because for me, Unai Emery should have been sacked already, and Raul Sanllehi haven't done that yet. So honestly, I thought that Raul Sanllehi, when he came here with the transfer window, of course, I thought he was going to not like honestly not only participate on the transfer window but participate in the club. Like 99% of the Arsenal fans are against Unai Emery. Like, why don't he sack him? I don't know. I agree, but who would you like as a left winger, or would you change the system? Well, I have an answer for both of your questions. I'm so sorry, I'm really sick right now. I need a I need some water actually, but I'm gonna keep doing this live stream. Well, as a left winger, well, I have some options, but first I'll answer the first question. If I would change the system, I'm sorry. If I would change the system, I would put a. I need a charger for this computer. I would put a 4-3-3, but I would put, of course, Leno as our goalkeeper with our formation today, not with a new transfer window or suppose there's another player here. I'll act like I'll talk about the players who are here now. Well, honestly, of course, I would put Leno as our goalkeeper. Leno as a goalkeeper. Rob Holding as our left center back because I think that. Well, I'm not counting solid, but for next season, I'm talking about this season right now. Holding as our left center back or David Luiz, but I would put Holding because he's probably him and David Luiz are our best players, center backs with the ball on the feet. And because of course Mustafi, of course horrendous, and Socrates, you shouldn't trust Socrates for that too for the job. And I think that Holding or David Luiz on the left. On the right, I would put. I think Colin Chambers is decent with the ball too, but I think Holding is just the Holding and David Luiz are more composed. Of course, the left back, I think Kieran Tierney. I don't think Kolasinac is good enough. For me, he cannot cross, and he's fast. He's strong, but honestly, his level of technique is not good enough for the Premier League. I think that Tierney is a left back. Bellerin is a right back. I think Chambers is a right center back. I really want to see this partnership, Chambers and Holding. Of course, Torreira DM, Guendouzi as our center mid. Then I would put Ceballos as the other center mid. So that's one option, and then no Cam, and then it's a 4-3-3. But not two wingers, but it's a really close 4-3-3. So instead of having the winger like this, you bring the winger more here. So basically have basically three strikers, like one on the middle, one on the left, one on the right, and well, this is one. I have some other more, but I don't have it in mind. I think I would put Lacazette maybe as a number 10, as a center forward. And then Pepe and Aubameyang as two strikers, and or maybe Pepe as a number 10, but I don't think Pepe would be good like far from the goal. I think he would do a good job. He does a good job when he's close to the goal for that shot with the left foot. And I really need to find a charger because I have 7%. And a left winger that I would buy. Well, honestly, I have some options. I'm sorry, guys. I have some options. I would honestly consider. Bergwijn from PSV. It's a player that I would consider. I would consider some other more players. I think that Oyarzabal. I don't know if you guys know Oyarzabal from Real Sociedad, but I think he's a really good player too. I think that he's not a fast winger, but he's very versatile. He plays in a lot of positions. He can play as a cam. He can play as a left winger, which he plays for Real Sociedad. But he said that he wants to keep playing for Real Sociedad. I really need to drink some water because I can't even barely talk. Like a club system. When 3 forwards change position, I would really say that. Well, I'm gonna end this live stream for a second, and I'm gonna come back in like around 5 minutes because I really need to drink some water because my voice is not. I am really sick at the moment, but it's okay. I'm gonna make these live streams still, and I'm gonna keep talking about the same thing. So give me 5 minutes, and I'm gonna keep going with the live stream.